My sophomore year, as I sat in my web design class, finished with the week's work before the first day was done, just as I and my friend always were at that point, we were approached by the school's principal. Seeing as we sat in the back of the classroom, right next to where the teacher oversaw everything, we were more than a little intimidated. But he almost seemed a bit embarrassed to ask us for a favor. He wanted us to assist in the creation of a brand new brochure for the school, just to promote it. Just like that, I entered a brand new world of digital media. New software, new hardware, and a free pass on the work we would have ended up missing, and of course, access to payment via the food storage room in the very back of the class. My friend and I were living the graphic design dream, learning as we went. Soon we ended up needing to go to the head of the school yearbook and the founder of the digital media group. If eccentric had a name, it was Mr. Metters, the man who wandered the halls with cameras and posters like some sort of designer spirit. So little was known about him that some of the middle schoolers were convinced he was a school myth, not even really the head of the yearbook. After several meetings with him to obtain pictures of sufficient resolution for being used in the brochure, he turned to us, yardstick in hand, and asked if my friend and I would be interested in joining the digital media group for our junior year. An honor, sure, but even more so considering the cast of talent was responsible not only for the yearbook, but the e-magazine and monthly student film as well. We were to be entrusted with the task that the current seniors would be leaving behind, the freshest recruits into a family so close-knit and yet so divided, a group so intricate and yet wildly simple that it would take far longer to describe than the time I spent within it. But it was within this group, however, that I found my truest talents, listed from least to greatest, management, video editing, and finally, the love of my life and, as of the beginning last semester, my major, film production and cinematography. I quickly became leader of the half of the group that handled the monthly film, and by the time I left, I was so invested in it that during my gap year I actually came back to shoot several more pieces of film with the students. I even taught several workshops on design, camera basics to any class that was even tangentially related to the subject, and of course one that wasn't even close to it. I learned a lot from my time in that group. A few things about cameras, some things about other people, and a whole lot about myself. But the most important thing that I learned was that, as corny and cliche as it sounds, finding out what you love to do and pursuing it, hunting it down and chasing it until you have it, is probably the only thing you need to do in your life to ensure that you can be happy with your choices.